Everyone, welcome back. I am doing a brush and finger swatch video on the Lorac Pro palette. I did just buy this today. I'm late to the party. I don't really care. So, this is what the palette looks like. I'm going to get right into the swatches. As always, I'm using my Wet n Wild flat shader brush and my Wet n Wild fluffy crease brush. I have my paper towel. And here we go. So the first shade we have here is called White. It is a white with some kind of like, I guess, iridescent sparkles. I really wish it would have been matte. I wish this whole row was matte, but from here down is matte. This one is not. So we will start with white. So these are super creamy. This is a little bit chalky and a little chunky, as you can see there. And then with the brush, the white and brush. So that one is white. And then we also have cream, which is a really nice, just beige cream color. I do have a video on this eye look. I don't know when it'll be up, if it's already up. If it is, I'll link it. When it comes up, I'll link it. So there we go. This is just a really nice beige cream color. With the brush. There we go. Alright, and then we have Taupe, which is this one right here. There we go. And then any shade that is a dark shade, I will try to swatch with the flat brush and the shader brush, just so you can see how it applies with each one. Shader. Go back in. There we go. Next shade is called Light Pink, which, by the way, Lorac, the name of this, Light Pink and Light Bronze, looks like Lieutenant Pink and Lieutenant Bronze. Just FYI. Just letting you know that, because when I first looked at the shade, I was like, Lieutenant Pink, really? So, Light Pink. This is also another good all over the lid color. It's also good for like under the brow, excuse me, under the brow, inner corner. So that's the brush swatch right there. Next is Mauve, which is pretty much what it says. It's just a light, like purpley mauve color. This one is not all that pigmented, as you can see. Do it with the shader brush. Yeah, this is probably one of the most disappointing shades in this palette. Next shade is Sable, which is third from the right. This is just a dark matte brown. This is quite patchy, and yeah, so you kind of have to work with that one a little bit. So Sable with the flat shader brush. There's lots of fallout with that. This is definitely one that you want to tap your brush off. Fallout doesn't usually bother me, it's just something that some people wonder about. You can see all of that right there. Because, you know, most eyeshadows, most eyeshadow palettes, they have fallout. So it's just something that comes with, especially dark matte shadows. Now my hand looks like it's bruised. Yeah, so as I was saying, dark matte shadows usually typically have fallout, so you always want to tap your brush off. Next shade is Espresso. I'll show you next to Sable so you can see the difference. This is Sable, this is Espresso. Sable is a little bit more like orange. Espresso is like a deep, dark brown. There you go. That stained my finger. Okay, now with flat shader brush, Fallout. Go. These shades really like to stick. Last matte shade is Black. Now, I have not used that color yet, so I really don't know what the pigmentation is going to be like. But we will find out. I'm trying to get all these dark colors off my brushes. So, last color here. And side note, I've only used this palette once, and it's already, like, trying to show you. It's covered in little glitters. So, that's one thing I don't like. Alright, so here's the Black. Yeah, it's not, like, super pigmented. Let's try it with the shader brush. And then the crease brush. So this one is a little bit better with the crease brush. It's more smoky, I guess. Alright. Okay, so this bottom row is full of like shimmers and metallics and foils. And I tried to use Slate, which is the shade right here in my outer crease or outer corner, and it didn't work very well. So I'm not sure if the bottom row of shades has to be used wet. I didn't try and use it wet, so I don't know how it works. I don't like using shadows wet. I think they should work whether or not they're wet or dry. So let's just go into the second row. So first color right here is Nude. This is like a champagne, like nude. So there you go. The next shade is called Nude, or not Nude. The next shade is called Champagne. Honestly, this one looks more champagne than that one does. So that's the brush swatch right there. You can barely see it. Like I said, that's why I think some of these need to be used wet, because you can't really see them dry. So there's that one. Next one is Champagne, which is right here. Looks like that. This one's a little bit more like chunky, glittery, I guess. There it is right there. I don't know why my hand looks so shiny up there. Try that off. Is that better? Yeah, okay. So that is Champagne. Let's do flat brush. Yeah, so it's not as pigmented. Alright, next shade is called Gold, which it's just generic gold. These are very, like, creamy feeling and very pigmented with the finger, at least. So there's that one. It's a little bit of chunk. There you go. And then flat shader brush. It almost looks like two different golds, depending on how you apply it. Alright, next shade is called Lieutenant Bronze. I'm going to call it that because that's what that abbreviation means. So, there. go in with the finger. And then brush. Next color is called Pewter, which is right there. I haven't used this one. That's pretty. Oh, I should probably wipe my hand off, shouldn't I? And not wipe off the swatch in the process. Here's Pewter. Has a little bit of powdery chunkiness to it. And then do it with a flat shader brush. It's not as pigmented. And then I'm going to do this one with this brush to show you what I mean when I say that there's not very much color that comes off. It's a little bit more. But yeah, so that's why I say that I think they should probably be used wet or just with your finger, because they don't really come off very well. Next shade is called Garnet, which I did use on my lower lash line. I need a new paper towel. Garnet is probably one of my favorite shades in this palette. It's very pretty. And it is this one right here. It almost looks like an amber orange color. It is a little bit chunky, as you can see. There you go. And then I'll show you with the flat brush. You can see the powder. And also my shader brush. I need to buy myself another shader brush. Not shader, crease brush, because this one's kind of been used a lot. So this is another one that does not work well with a crease brush. Next shade is called Deep Purple, and it is exactly what it says it is. It is a deep purple. It has like lighter purple, what's it called? Why did that not come off? It has like lighter purple, almost like pink purple shimmers in it. See if I can show you on camera right there. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see the shimmers, but that's what it looks like. There it is right there. It almost looks black, like a black purple. There. And then flat brush. And crease brush. This palette gets dirty pretty easily. See, it's just, they don't work well with a crease brush. Almost just looks like a bruise. And this purple one is very persistent. Alright, and last but not least is Slate. This is the color I told y'all that I tried to use on my outer corner, and it just didn't work. And it is like a slate blue-gray color. It is on the finger swatch. I'm going to go in with the flat brush there. And then crease brush. See what I mean? They just don't translate well with a crease brush. So that is the last shade. So this palette is pretty. I do like it. It just takes a lot of manipulating and working with and figuring out how to apply the shades the best way to get the most pigment out of them. as I was saying before, the shades down here either need to be applied wet or with your finger in order to get like the full like bam pigment out of them. But overall, this is a good palette. I like the matte shades especially. I like that when you use this, you don't have to pull in another shadow. That's what I experienced with the peanut butter and jelly palette, is ending up having to pull in another shadow for that all over wash of color. So all in all, I do like this palette. I most likely won't return it. The peanut butter and jelly one, I'm not sure about yet. So I really do like this, and I hope this video was helpful for you guys, anybody that was interested in the swatches or anything. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos to come, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.